Hello, friends. Welcome, everyone, and welcome Deserts and a Beatdown Boulevard to our Rallycry halftime show. So, y'all know how y'all were doing that Newly Duo game before the series? I feel like it was a million years ago.
It was. I bet now that you mentioned it, something in the back of my mind. I think I do remember. Yeah.
Oh, at least you're remembering once. I mean, that's all we can ask for at this point. But we're gonna be running it back because, of course, Deserts, I believe you got 3 out of 5 right, or 2 out of 4.
You got
it wasn't necessary. 2 out of 4 wasn't the greatest score. It's awesome. Jace knows what's up. But now we have to see, Beats, how much you know about your caster duo here. What is...
It says BDB and it's
do you have a marker?
Bob? Does that say Bob?
No, it said BDB.
Are you writing little hearts for Mr. Robbie Bob over there?
You know what? We'll take it that way. Thank you, Sierra.
Like
You've
that.
recovered my writing. I need a marker.
Here, hold on. I got one. Here.
Here, do you need a...
Just go ahead and,
You know what? I got a pencil. I'll use that instead.
Would you like one? I got a box for you.
Oh,
nice. I got them too.
You are set, Sierra.
It's those tarot
prepared.
cards that I definitely have
yeah, that would do it.
Yep. But hey, at this point now, down. It's time to see if you know more about Deserts than he does.
Just gotta
about
be
you.
50%. I just
It's
gotta
got to be 50%.
And I can talk trash forever.
Yes, exactly. You know exactly how this is going to work. Anyone who's just tuning in, basically, I am going to be asking Beat a question about Deserts that Deserts thinks about the game. So I'll tie things back together. And then Deserts is going to write down on his little piece of paper while Beatdown tries and guess what it is to see who knows each other better, who was the better caster duo out of the two of you. So to start things off, Beat, who did Deserts think was the most impactful player in that game one?
Trevor.
You gotta let me write it for.
Oh, right. Well, I know I'm right. It's okay.
I was gonna write Trevor, so yeah.
Boom!
Right this time.
What did I tell you?
We didn't shut up about Trevor.
Yeah, exactly. That was easy.
During the break, so that was an easy one.
All right. Don't worry. I'll wait. I'll wait for the next one.
Let me write it.
Yeah, no worries. Just doing a little flexing, you know?
Next time you just answer super quickly.
Yeah.
Deserts, just change your answer. Honestly, don't let him get away with it. All right. Second up, we're going to keep it along the trends of the impact. What was the most impactful moment in that first match here in EGC? It's impactful.
Pretty sure I know.
Deserts, you seem to be thinking a little bit on which one you think is the most impactful here.
No, he's writing.
I'm not thinking. I'm just trying to remember champion abilities.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
You're a play-by-play. You don't need to. I'm just kidding.
Oh, you know what?
Okay, I got it. What do you got, B?
You know, you shouldn't have said that because I was going to guess wrong, but I'm pretty sure I know right now.
Okay.
Oh.
So it was, I don't know the time, but it was when Music tried to steal the red buff. This crazy ultimate came through from Trevor. He used the hostile takeover. It allowed Music to take the empowered blast cone, and then Trevor used the bailout to save him from Shaded. And it was probably the most tilting thing I've ever seen personally as a player. Oh,
you're wrong!
Oh, no!
Come on.
I can't read what it's saying.
Trevor, handshake. Trevor, handshake. There we go.
Which one?
The dragon one. It was the dragon one.
Oh, damn it. That was my original guess.
Yeah.
It'd be like that.
It do be like that.
So far, I'm tied with Deserts. Also, the cat case.
You're tied there at your 50% here.
For now. We're coming back.
For now. All right. Question number 3. You know the most valuable prospect award that we give out? Out of these players, who would be Deserts' nod to most valuable prospect? Someone that he would be pushing to be on that short list. Actually, 2. Coming up with those short lists, it's kind of brutal sometimes, you know.
I'm trying to write extra dark, so.
I think the way to do it is to make like bubble letters and then scribble them in.
That's what I'm kind of doing. Okay, I got it.
Kind of simulates the marker a little bit. Anyways, I'm gonna say Quacker. This is so awful.
There it goes.
But I'm right.
He's right. Sierra,
Let's
I'll get a
go.
whiteboard and a marker next time. Don't you worry.
No, I love the scuffness. I mean, Quacker was someone we were like questioned about starting into things, and now all of a sudden this is the most valuable prospect nod coming out.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not as like I'm not as I'm trying to figure out a different word for this so I don't curse on freaking camera right now. I'm not as up my own bum as Cubby is with some of the analytics he gets into. So I just like fun players, bro. I just like fun players.
Cubby here.
I know the strays. This is great.
This isn't a stray. This is a full-on shotgun pointed at him,
actually,
man.
you're right.
Yeah.
It's a stray because he's not here, you know? This isn't about him.
I think Quacker's a really fun player. I think he has a lot of potential. We don't know where his ceiling really is at the moment, so hey, I want to give him the nod.
You know what? I will add two things to this. One, based on how Supernova plays the game and how much a part of it Quacker is, that's not that crazy to give him that kind of shout out. I don't remember what my second thing is, but what matters is that first thing.
Good job, Beat. That was some fantastic analysis there. Good job. Good job.
I got you. That's what I'm here for.
All right. So currently, percentage-wise, Beat is currently winning.
Kind of the GOAT.
That's not the words that I used, Beat, but you are ahead here. All right, we're gonna go on to our next question here. What is Deserex's favorite player? Who is Deserex's favorite player from these?
In this series? From these teams.
Yes.
That's.
Take this one because you really have to know them for this one.
I do. That's tough. I can kind of rule out a couple.
Okay, I got mine locked in.
Not him.
What criteria are you using to just like rule these out, Beat? It's just like people that doesn't really talk about, or
it's talk about. It's kind of like. Actually, it's just talk about. I was gonna say like it's vibe, but I'm literally just going off the conversations we've had both today and like about Supernova before, and I'm going with Quacker again. Locking that in.
Well, you're going to 50%, buddy. It is Robbie.
That I thought about Robbie too. That's fair. I can hold that.
I like Robert Bobber. He's always been a little bit more of a quiet player. Cubby had a pretty good. Now I'm bringing him back again. Cubby had a pretty good call that describes him. He's a quiet player who does all his talking on the Rift. So I've always liked Robbie, and just his collegiate runs, a lot of the amateur runs we get from him. He's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
He is a good guy. So with that, we're now tied here.
I'm just saying the game should end right here because it's the same amount of questions.
You should think, but don't you want the chance to
have? No. We're spicing it up for this last one because we want to have a winner or a loser out of this one. All right.
That's what it's all about.
All right. Eat who, and we're not making it easy for this one. Who is Deserex's favorite player in the entire split? This is for the win or loss.
What?
This is for the win or loss.
I already know.
All right, you guys all need to bear with me for a second. Quickly. I'm gonna just literally I just gotta look at the player list for a second here.
You just really gotta make sure.
I need this in my face. You're talking about literally 50 players. So I gotta,
Well, I'm just saying, in terms of if you really knew Deserex, he knew instantly. He had to think about this series. When I said favorite player in the league, he was like, oh, I got this. He's been spending his whole time doing his bubble letters, doing little hearts on the note.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. See, I know you. All right, this one's for all the marbles, Beat.
I'm not good at drawing hearts.
It's just too messed up half circle.
I was a math major. You draw things very weird and squiggly for no reason whatsoever.
It's just really hearts. All right, Beat. I know there's 50 names to be going through. I feel like you could just be looking at one or two teams there and just be looking at their
low
players.
Key I am. Low key I am.
Okay.
There's a couple of teams I can just rule out.
More hearts.
Yeah, hey, you know what? That's all the better.
All right, B, I'm giving you 5 more seconds. We're going to have to make a decision.
Okay, I can accept that. Masu.
I just want to say, I pulled up Twitch chat for this because I wanted to see if someone in Twitch chat would get it. Rizzy, you are a god. It is Shochi.
Oh, damn. You know what? Respect. Oh.
Wow. Rizzy the GOAT, Beat is not. So congratulations.
That's fine. It happens.
Oh god, I'm blurry. How do we unblur me?
I
I'm
feel
being
like
censored
we have
right now. God.
Hey, I feel like soon enough we're gonna have a draft to go to, so maybe we won't have to worry about your blurry.
His face will be onto the draft
Or
too.
we can all go blurry. We can all go blurry. All right.
Yeah, true. You're right. You're right.
No, I didn't. I'm sorry.
Wait, I have to like manually blur it. Hold on.
You have to.
Yeah, my thing is not that fancy. Okay, I'm doing this for you, Eric. Don't laugh
Wait,
at me.
I already corrected.
Oh my god, now I gotta fix it. This is terrible.
all right. Hey, he fixed it actually pretty fast. So congratulations on that. We can see going in the second game if EG can fix a couple of the issues they had in that game one. Look at the transition there. Or if this one is gonna be Supernova all the way. Our draft's ready. Have fun, you two.
I'm a little bit disappointed, B. How did you not get the Shochi one?
What? Like, there's so many players. I don't know. This is crazy, man.
No,
first you mind control FlyQuest to lose, so I have to buy you dinner. Now you do this. What is this, man?
I'm sorry, man. It's just I've had 3 splits of watching his growth, so I just love the kid, man. I love the kid. Anyway,
no respect. He's a good kid.
Anyway, back into this matchup and the players at hand. It's gonna be Supernova. I believe they were blue side last time. It should be on the same side coming through.
Sides have not changed.
Yeah, so sides not changing. Mid lane bans coming from both teams.
Yeah, again, a lot of the normal stuff. Respect paid over to the Olaf as well for Quacker. Realistically, the Supernova just did a really good job in that first game. One, using all the advantages of their draft. You had push mid and top, and you had push in every lane, which feels really good as a jungler. We saw what the opposite looked like in last series for DSG. Game 2, if you haven't seen it, go back if you want to see jungle difference personified. And basically, the point with that being is Supernova did the same thing in this first game of the series. They managed to have music run all over the map, be able to either answer whatever play Shaden tried to force, or collect neutral objectives because of that very pressure.
Again, a lot of the success for Supernova wasn't just in that, but it was in their neutral objective setup and how they managed a lot of those fights.
Yeah.
Throwback to Trevor.
Trevor's the GOAT.
Handshake was absolutely amazing.
Whatever I said at the end of game 1, lies. Trevor's the GOAT that game. I just needed to get it out. Go on, please.
It's all right. First pick coming in for Supernova. Got a few more seconds to decide it. Wouldn't be surprised if they run back the Kindred. I mean, it was a working formula in the last game. Why not do it again?
Yeah, it's the strongest jungler at the moment here. It's banned so often on red side, but EGC, they gotta pay respect to other parts of Supernova. It's gonna be up and available for music again. What's EGC's answer going to be? Viego is still up. Maybe we see that one come through. We could see a couple runbacks in terms of picks. I mean, nothing is wrong with the Rel. Nothing is wrong with the Viego, but...
Ooh, I think we have our...
That's interesting.
Oh, goodness. Turo unique selection locked in with the Tristana picked up for EGC. Now, I'm kind of curious what lane is this going to go. Is this just going to be straightforward a king pick, or are we going to try and flex this?
It's definitely a flex. Ryoma has played this in the past, could very well do so again. We talked about Prio being a big thing. Tristana is really great at getting that, no matter where you put her. But it's also, ooh, wow.
Okay.
What month is it? Well, that's crazy.
Yeah.
We haven't seen Elise since like the first 4 or 5 patches of spring. And Shaden is just going full feast or famine in this game. It's like, I win in 10 minutes or we're not winning at all.
This is EGC really taking off the gloves and going bare knuckle with this draft right now. And man, I like it. I like it. It's something a little bit more extreme. It's yet to be tested, so we'll see how it does work on the Rift. But as you said, B, it does put that fuse onto this team to perform at a faster rate than before.
Absolutely. And we're not going to really see much difference here in terms of picks, with the exception of the Xayah, which I really like for a couple of reasons. The big one, of course, being, oh my God, being you're playing into the Elise. That extra bit of safety is important. And what? EGC,
they want to kill. They just want to kill.
They're just drafting the kill squad. That's what it's all about. Now, banning the Rakan makes a lot of sense. I'm trying to think of like what else they could even go for here. Banning Lissandra maybe, because again, that was something they took away in game 1. Again, it's something really good for Robbie Bob this time around.
At this point, let's just lock in Katarina, man. Let's just...
That would be hype. Oh my God.
Let's just go balls to the wall on this one. Evil Geniuses so much pick potential as well as some demolition potential onto the turrets. Tristana is very good at dismantling that. Pretty much the second follow-up after Ziggs. The bans come in. Top lane focus for Supernova, ban away the Malphite. Support focus EGC, taking away the Rakan. And again, going after those facilitators that Robbie Bob likes to grab in the Lissandra ban.
Makes a lot of sense. I'm curious to see if we see Robbie actually go for the oh my god, Galio. There we go. He's played it a lot before, especially when he was on EGC. Okay. I mean, he played it yesterday, to be fair, which is why I was kind of thinking about it. It's really nice pairing with the Kindred, even though we don't see it very often. And I'm wondering if we see, especially if someone gets pulled in by the Blitzcrank, you can kind of follow up with that ultimate there, the hero's entrance.
What is this? Soul
That's a hover. That's a hover. That's not real.
No, not that. Not that. I'm talking about Soul having the Jax. We usually have Soul more onto the weak side tank champions more than anything else, but now this is Soul looking to step up in a little bit of a higher position.
Yeah, and this is going to be pretty important. Soul played the Gragas, which has been nerfed, doesn't have as much lane sustain in game one, had no prio whatsoever. Even though the early levels are still really good for Renekton, you do have that ability to gank setup, you do have that ability to scale and be really strong into the late game, unlike the Gragas pick. So I like that shift for Soul, and this whole shift for EGC is very interesting.
Interesting. Final lock-in for Supernova is going to be the Cassiopeia. Having that, there is a lot of DPS that I'm noticing on Supernova right now. They've really ramped up the damage.
They have, and really no tanks to speak of. Realistically, the closest thing you're going to have is Soul on this Jax, unless we see something like the Cassante locked in there for mid lane. But it's looking like we do have that confirmation. It is going to be the... Oh, actually, what is going to be mid?
I'm gonna let this resolve.
Ezreal mid, we're just gonna let that one come through. I don't know. With Static Shiv, everything is crazy. Nothing makes sense anymore. And I'm just gonna look over on Supernova's side because that's a lot easier.
That makes more sense.
That makes a lot more sense. Braum for Trevor, big fan. You get pulled by Blitzcrank, well, you could shield up. It doesn't feel as terrible. You can eat up a good bit of the damage that evil geniuses are trying to throw at your carries. So it's good. Yeah. You have ways to disengage. You have ways to engage. Good stuff here.
Sketch has self-bill as well. Very, very interesting layout that we had, especially that those... I had said already the Turo unique pick in the Tristana, but it feels like almost this entire squad for EGC are the Turo unique picks.
Yeah, it's the biggest thing for me is this mid jungle. All these other champs, we've seen them before. We've seen them a handful of times. Tristana, sometimes... at least the first time this split, and that's what I'm most interested in.
All right, our final game of the day here on the Path to LCS channel. Supernova versus Evil Geniuses Challengers. And this right here so far has been a great upswing for Supernova. They keep getting these surprise upsets, and now with the struggling EGC knocking at their door, they're pushing that door right back onto them and crushing them with it. It has been great for Supernova.
It has been. This next game, going to be a big deal. Supernova getting the 2-0 at EGC, I mean, would do wonders for their record going as we get towards the end of the first round robin here, as that ends tomorrow. And it would be such a good way for them to potentially end off the weekend. I mean, talking more about Supernova, this composition, you're definitely looking to scale, play a little more towards late, with the exception of topside. Again, Quacker, that rock for Supernova in the top side, always getting leads, advantages, and leading Supernova to usually have control over that part of the map.
It's also just going back to the topic of Supernova and the end of the round robin. It's also a very interesting way to finish off this round robin because it was Team Fish Taco who are on an upswing as well. Supernova following suit. These were two teams that were constantly pegged to be in the bottom and are now swinging for the fences. I really do like about some of our squads, but now Supernova might have something to deal with here, as Smoothie posturing up into the mid lane, wants to find the hook on Robbie Bob and will get that early flash burnt. Robbie Bob will now be much more susceptible to ganks early.
Yeah, you see that W start there from Ryoma. That Smoothie dropping a bit of golden XP. Really important there to just set Robbie Bob behind. You see Ryoma has the ignite. We can't stress it enough how badly EGC needed this early game to go well. This mid jungle is so aggressive, especially the Elise that Shaden is piloting here. So he needs to get the ball rolling. Having a mid laner who has control and dominance in the lane is the perfect way to start.
So far, Music clearing out his bottom side before he makes his way up. And I will be watching also that top side a lot more if Music tries to end up over there. They didn't make it a plan of attack before, but now that Soul's on something such as the Jax, you can focus this to get Quacker ahead and just pretty much steamroll that lane down.
Right, we talked about it. What junglers can do with Prio is wondrous, and I feel like we're seeing a repeat of Game 2 of the last series. Shaden, though, this is a flash or a kill for Music. Or death, I should say.
There it is. Cocoon gonna land right on him. Jaden even gonna steal away one of the small wolves. Music's got to get out of there. Or does he? He's returning fire, creates some distance. Over the wall, First Blood comes out for Music!
Wow, so it ends up being the trade, but that slightly favors Music. He gets that extra gold, he gets that Hunter's Mark, and that is not going the way you expected here. Music!
What?
Big thing here. Shaden, he unloads the whole combo, and it wasn't able to do enough. In an auto battle, you will lose to the Kindred, and we're gonna see that one play out. Music, especially with the W, he's able to Q over the wall, and he can still maintain vision over Shaden, so he can just keep autoing him.
That was brilliant right there. Shaden got that Q in at the very last second. It still wasn't enough to kill. It was Soul having to rotate down to return that over, but if that wasn't the case, it was just Music getting the solo and getting out.
Yeah, it's funny. You can see the leap strike was what killed there. And speaking of kill.
This is what we're worried about, B. If Quacker gets going against Soul, it's going to be a lot of pain for EGC.
Right, like I said, good for the Renekton early on, and this is Quacker's Renekton constantly in the running for play of the week. And this early advantage on top of the First Blood, even though Music traded 1-for-1, means Supernova are off to a great start.
Off to the races right now is Supernova. Quacker now teleporting back into lane 1-0-0. This standout rookie over on the top side that Supernova were able to pick up. They got a gem with him, beat.
They did, and we really thought, from what the improvement we saw from Quacker in 2021, we knew this player could do good things. But we didn't expect him to just get rolling so quickly, Deserex. We're from basically week 1. Quacker has looked so good so far in Challengers League Summer. And you can see what it earns them on the top side of the map. But right now, Supernova, they're doing a little taking.
Oh, Trevor blocks the rocket grab.
Goat.
Trevor's an absolute madman, man. That was beautiful right there. It's going to get the stun through, but the fight still continues from Evil Geniuses. Try and get the resets on the rocket jumps. Oh, the stun comes right before Ryoma can escape, and in mid-air, Sketch will take him straight to the dirt.
That's Braum, baby. Trevor taking the rocket grab. So nicely done and able to get that concussive blows onto so many targets, making it so easy for Supernova to dismantle EGC. Now this comp that needed to go up in the early game is down 1,000 gold at the 5.5-minute mark. Supernova, it's looking good, Eric. I'm not going to say those 3 words yet, but it's looking good.
How does Trevor keep pulling off plays such as that? I mean, absolutely amazing. He's been performing out of his mind this year. Now Hook's going to land right into the mid lane. Robbie Bob will not have his flash this time around, so should fall. All those rocket jump resets, Ryoma's going to be able to get it.
I will say, Robbie doing that much damage with just here. Cassiopeia, baby. And we're going to see a replay of what happened before. Trevor used the get behind me to eat that rocket grab for Music. And as soon, the target selection is so good. The passive is on the Blitzcrank. He immediately starts looking at other people. He hits Shaden once. He flashes to apply the passive onto Ryoma. So even though 1 kill goes over, that passive is getting massive value. And it's just so well played by the support of Supernova.
Trevor, again, one of the older players in the space, showing that that doesn't really mean jack at this point. If you got the hands and if you got the mindset to keep up, you can keep up, and Trevor does just that. 1-0-2, keeping his team safe, keeping his team wealthy on top of 1.1k lead at 6 minutes.
And 2 of those kills are on the 80 carry Sketch already. Was going to have a good time later into the game. Now you're accelerating that. Sketch is feeling really good about himself here in game 2. Smoothie, though, Oh man, he's had to spend a
alone.
lot of time in this lane. He's down a level on Trevor because of the amount of roaming he's done. You see the Mobies, he knows they need to get something going on the side of Evil Geniuses, but Robbie is paying his respects, and he is not overextending himself.
But now, here's where the challenge comes in if Smoothie wants to actually try and prop up for a rocket grab. But it's not going to be that easy. Robbie does posture towards the far end away from that wall, so Smoothie, nothing to really grab, will be forced to just kind of camp it out a little bit longer if he's looking to get something. It does give Supernova time to get on the map and grab this first Drake.
This first Drake was theirs by birthright, so EGC wisely backing off of it and looking to make plays elsewhere. I gotta say, it's good judgment from them. And Robbie Bob does have flash, but this is still a very playable dive.
See that Robbie's kind of trying to stay near this end of the wall. Rocket grab does not land. All that time dedicated beat for nothing.
I gotta say, I like the look, but I agree. That's brutal. Those rocket grabs need to land. Smoothie, unfortunately, not able to do so. So that's Supernova walking away with a dragon, walking away with pretty much everything they could hope for in this early game. You could see it now. They walk over towards this Rift Herald. Quacker has that Iron Spike Whip, has that level 6, well past it in fact, and is ready to go for the skirmishes. Use that lead he's got to help secure Rift Herald.
Supernova are the ones posturing up around mid right now. Evil Geniuses have lost so much freaking time, man. Especially trying to posture up for that mid lane dive. A lot of that was telegraphed to a certain extent, because you got to keep in mind, right? Supernova are grabbing the dragon. At the same time, people are missing on the map, including Smoothie, as well as Shaden. Robbie had an idea that something was going to go on over there. That's something that Evil Geniuses got to be careful about. It can't be that telegraphed, and of course, you can't miss the rocket grab on top of it.
Yeah. Brutal. And the more time goes, the more EGC is running out of options here. You can see it. Smoothie down in XP.
Right, hook onto Trevor, but Trevor's absorbing that damage as he should. Don't want to absorb too much when there's no reason to take it, so does get dropped. Still looking for the follow-through onto Sketch. Ryoma will take down Robbie, and Evil Geniuses are able to get a win across the board.
Oh, these are massive wins here. You deny more gold than XP from Sketch. Shaden picks up a shutdown. Much needed gold here, and we're going to take a look at the replay that just took place. See Ryoma dodging. Yeah, really nicely done. Dodging the Petrifying Gaze, using the Ignite. This was Ryoma's all along.
Yeah, that's a Ryoma play if I've ever seen one. That's the old Tommy that we remember from back in the day, who was always in that top 2 conversation for being best mid.
That's right. And we're seeing some of that here. 3-1 on the Tristana has that opportunity to potentially put out a lot of damage. Alongside Shaden and King, who've picked up some gold in these last minute or two. So this is good for EGC. They need to keep this one up, of course. We need to see Smoothie and Shaden continue to sync up and make plays around their mid and bot side so that they can keep stacking gold in their favor. Right now, they still have to worry about Music's Rift Herald. That is a big way Supernova could get more gold in their pockets, but this is something that EG can be happy about.
Thing is, EG still have to keep this momentum up, as we had said earlier. They need to play this game fast. They need to keep getting kills, because the late game and the 5v5 doesn't work for them that well unless they're getting picks. You got great scaling for Supernova, so Evil Geniuses cannot let off the gas.
And you can see it. Another visit to the bot side. Sketch only has flash, no Featherstorm. He knows he's in trouble, but he's also too late.
Yeah, here we go. Knockup going to be found. As you said, no Featherstorm, an easy pickup for Evil Geniuses. And now they have a kill lead. Now they have a gold lead. Now they're starting to look like the EGC we know.
Yeah, this is big. I mean, we look on the other side. We're seeing some big spikes come through here. The Trinity Force for Music, the Kraken Slayer for Sketch now is still something to be hopeful about. Oh, hold on.
Ooh, able to step away from the Petrifying Gaze once again, but going for the dive is going to be Music. You got Lamb's Respite, not that much of a threat, so it's a kill over to Supernova.
Yeah, but I will say King really farming it up on the bot side here. He's gotten so many plates alongside his team. You can see this 30 CS lead that he has over Sketch because of all this bot side attention. So even though in the early minutes, things were looking very good for Supernova, Evil Genius Challengers managed to swing back and land some pretty good hits. Means that this Rift Herald isn't going to be as valuable as taking 4 plates here, but being able to get this gold onto Music is still nice. EGC, they got to keep going fast, they got to keep going loose.
See Smoothie trying to threaten them away from it. Gold going to be found on both Music and Robbie Bob, so very nice for Supernova. Yeah, Evil Geniuses, they're going to look for the next setup now. Dragon spawns in the next 35 seconds. You are getting a reset coming out from Shaden. At the same time, Smoothie is going over towards that Dragon side river. Now looking to scope out and potentially place some vision. Soul not in too much threat from Supernova. So it is a moment where Evil Geniuses do feel like they're in a good position to continue to make plays, but I do want to emphasize that continue to make plays, not just sit idly by.
Yeah, something that works well for them too is that King is so fed right now, and he's on the Ezreal. The only real issue that he may run into is tanks, and there isn't a tank in sight on Supernova's side of the map here. And King, he's 2 levels up, and he's looking for more.
Oh man, another dive going on to Sketch. Nice flash out of Sketch to get away from the rocket grab. Dive not going to work out for Evil Geniuses. Sketch able to hold his own, but with that, Evil Geniuses will set up on Drake.
Sketch needs to leave immediately, though. They get the flash, they get the Feather Storm, and now... Oh, he's back got canceled, actually. Oh, Sketch.
Oh, no.
Okay. He does manage to walk away.
Half a second later on that leave, and he goes down. Soul under attack by Music and Quacker. Ooh, Soul trying to turn it around. We'll get the Lamps Respite out. Now Shaden with the dive.
Wow.
We'll find the kill onto Sketch. And it's going to be a 1-for-1 top and bottom.
Wow, so this hard commit to bot side, it's really starting to pay off for Evil Genius Challengers. You can see it. Shaden is starting to get ahead. He's got a bouncy on his head. King's lead continues to be astronomical. EG very much have chances to pull this win out here in the top side. Even though you see this turret going through and another 5 plates going over to Supernova on the top side, you're still very happy with this bot side control.
I really want to know what the conversation was for this draft to end up the way it was like this. For the most part, they are starting to win out ahead. Let's go take a look at how some of those plays did fold out to get us into this position.
And so often, Supernova having Quacker on that top side, able to be a spot where you can make plays for is so important here. But the big thing, Sketch, it looked like he got out, but he needed to back a little bit further, even with the cocoon missing. Sketch just falls further and further behind. So at this point, the Zaya's damage is honestly a little negligible compared to everyone else on the Rift here, Eric. And it just means that Sketch is going to mostly be playing defense, especially because he has no flash and ult still. So he has to be really careful about where he positions the team fights.
And King's going to be very, very potent on this Ezreal. It's still a double marksman comp at that for both of these squads, just coming from different locations. Look at Supernova. They're putting their attention over towards this top side of the map, trying to focus something out to get things going. And you can see why they would play topside. I mean, Quacker has been a beast of a player, currently 2-0, on a very comfortable champion in this Renekton. But Evil Geniuses are not going to allow play to be dictated up there. They want plays down here in the bottom lane.
I love it, and this is what I'm talking about. I love when teams don't fight for objectives that they aren't going to be having the easiest time getting. Instead, Evil Genius Challengers, they're going to focus all this attention bot side, keep the vision down, so not only can they facilitate these turrets going down, but they can have an easier time fighting for these dragons that are coming up. They still have a soul that they can play for here, as long as they get this next Drake in 2 minutes' time.
Look at all that deep vision established by EGC on that same side, on the dragon side. And how painful for Music. The mark going to spawn on the Scuttle Crab. So with that, it's taken away. Shaden will not allow another stack to go over to Music. And you can see the game plan for both of these squads. It's like I was saying earlier, a focus on the top for Supernova, focus on the bottom for EGC.
And it shows in the vision. I mean, on both sides of the map. We saw the Observer toggle earlier. EG, no vision top side, it's all Supernova, but bot side, Supernova have nothing to speak of here. It's red wards all over the place. Trevor, all he can do is take a little peek with the Winter's Bite, but ultimately isn't able to get really anything else. Something I really quickly want to say too, the interesting thing, even though I think Chemtech Soul sucks, I might need to hold that thought.
Oh yeah, teleport coming out from Quacker. Wave is shoved in by a lot, so Quacker has some time to work with before Soul gets that crash. Quacker wants to find this kill. Slice and Dice comes through, looking for it onto Smoothie. Smoothie's going to flash right over that wall. Chase still going through for Supernova.
No
They're looking for the deep dive right now. Gotta be careful about this one. Now going forward. Able to get Cocoon. Music. Lambs for Spike needs to go down. Buster shot from Iona. Pushes him right the hell on out of it. Quacker gets close with the Dominus, but not close enough to leave a mark in EGC.
That was kind of ambitious, especially going 1 for 1 while having King trade on the other side of the map, and Soul as well. You committed so much to that play to only go 1 for 1, and you still lose out in gold across the map. You can see this gold graph come through here, show us the swing that's been going back and forth, but what I want to see right now is the individual gold, to see where the money is. And of course, it's King, who has just been handed gold left, right, and center, far and away above everybody else here on the side of Supernova and even his own team.
Heavy is the crown on the head of King, put into position to get the gold and carry with it.
Yeah.
Evil Geniuses, 2.4k lead right now, 17 minutes into this game. Dragon is about to spawn. Great vision control coming out for Evil Geniuses to go ahead and contest this.
This is their Drakes, Music, and Supernova. Taking down this mid-tier 1 is far more important than contesting right now. You're not worried about a Soul in 5 minutes. So you take this, you walk topside, clean out camps, see if you can catch out Soul. And they actually might get that opportunity.
All right, here we go, Robbie Bob onto Soul. Trevor following through. Gonna get a flanking play. Robert should be able to grab this on his own. Out comes the Counter-Strike Petrifying Gaze to lock down Soul. Robbie gets a kill, but you're still allowing Evil Geniuses to run this map.
Yeah, the fact is, being able to get that kill on top of invading topside, that's a little better than Supernova could have hoped for. And one thing I want to bring attention to right now is King. We saw it. He has the most gold in the game by a country mile. King is a player, when he was in the academy scene before, we thought very highly of. When we knew he was coming for EGC, we knew he would make a difference in spring if he actually managed to make it. And so far in summer, he's looked very good. Right now, he is the highest level in the game. He has the most gold in the game. He's playing Ezreal into 0 tanks. Deserex, this man has the keys to the carry car. And he's got to start driving if EGC don't want to go 0-2.
There's a reason he's the most winningest player in OPL history. Fight breaking out smoothie, a world of hurt. Music returns fire. Eats one of the Mystic shots of King. True Shot Barrage goes through.
Wow.
Ooh, gets Trevor to just above 100 health. But he will still stand up. You can start to see that King's damage is ramping up, though, Beat.
Oh, it's ramped. 2 items. The big spike. He's working his way towards 3. I mean, we speak of spikes. Robbie Bob has maxed the Seraphs, is a few minutes away from fully stacking the Rod of Ages as well. This Cassiopeia does a lot of damage. Both of these teams, they have clear win cons. And for Supernova, it's Robbie Bob and Music who are doing a lot of the damage, and Quacker being that space creator on this Renekton with the Dominus. He has that second item built. He's the big one to kind of make space for Robbie Bob and Music to do their damage. EGC side, it's all about King. If Supernova can blow up King, they'll win every fight 10 out of 10 times. But if they can't get on top of him and he kites them out, King can make the difference.
And that's the problem, man. It's an Ezreal. You burn his flash. He's got his Arcane Shift immediately after to try and slip on by. It's a very slippery champion. Fight breaks out. Quacker's the one leading the charge right here, but King brings too much in a fight, and the Croc is slain. Now looking at Trevor, flashing over the wall. Evil Geniuses Challengers, they're led by the King.
Quacker, he went for the big heal there, leaving the Lamb's respite. Even though he popped Dominus before dying, it still wasn't enough to keep him going. Now, it's Baron for EGC, but Supernova have something to say.
Ooh, hook lands onto Trevor. Trevor puts up the wall, blocks some of the damage, but takes a lot in the process. 5k health remains onto the Baron. Soul goes forward. Soul loses half his health for making the move, and the Baron is going to get reset.
Supernova, even though they lost Quacker, they managed to ward Evil Geniuses off the Baron, but we're seeing the damage that King can output.
Yeah.
And we're seeing what he's going to be able to do here. That's the Navori Quick Blades finished. This is 3 items on this champion, and Sketch hasn't even finished item number 2, but taking advantage of the recall, Supernova want to start the Baron. I like this call, but they need to get it down quick.
Trevor's low. Trevor's low. Shaden's coming up.
Dead.
Oh no! Oh, he goes down over the wall. Shaden steals the Baron. Now Evil Geniuses looking to survive. Able to pick up
King's
one.
big.
King's here. King gets a double. King gets a triple. He's going for the money, baby. It's a quadra kill. And the crown denied the penta. Evil Geniuses with the ace.
But still, King goes big, and they earn themselves the Turo Baron buff. They might not even have it for long. No one's on the map, and EGC are so strong. We take a look at the replay. It starts with the True Shot Barrage. Trevor, even with the Unbreakable up, ends up taking enough damage to get smited by the Baron, and Shaden knows it's his time to shine. And at this point, the fight is just history once the King walks in.
King positioning beautifully in this final fight. Shaden, you scumbag! That was a pentakill for King right there. But, you know, not all teams can have Philip screaming penta, penta, penta as fast as he possibly can. Still gonna feel real good about that one for Evil Geniuses. After all these struggles, they pull out one of the wildest comps, and it's working because King is now the God King.
7-0-3. Unkillable in game 2. EGC looking well poised to split the series as they grab inhibitor number 2. They have this Baron buff for another minute 30 seconds, even with this dragon coming up. I just want to see the pressure this bottom side of the map first. They can take this dragon whenever they want to, but when you have a lead like this, EGC, you need to keep the pressure on.
And keeping it on is what exactly they'll do, as you do have super minions now coming in the top and mid wave, as well as a shoved in wave in the bottom that they can follow through right after this dragon. So things are falling right into their hands, and Supernova, and their backs are up against the wall, and they gotta make a move soon because this is about to fall apart.
And something I really want to point out, before that team fight, King had just finished the Devoid Quick Blades. Since then,
got a whole item.
A whole item.
Oh my
Now
word.
he's got the Cyrilda's Grudge. And we're seeing it. EGC focusing on that bottom side, ignoring the dragon for the moment. As Supernova, they do all they can. They play for top, they play for Quacker, and hope they can get a kill for this dragon.
Oh no. Yeah, Soul just hops right on out. There's no issue. He's not that afraid of the Gator anymore. Evil Geniuses are posturing up, though, on the final inhibitor tower. Inhibitor soon to follow. Is there a team fight left for Supernova? Watch for Trevor. Watch for the Petrifying Gaze. Those big ultimates, they need to land on key targets, such as King. If Supernova are going to find themselves any team fight win, ooh, Trevor's got to be careful. Don't want to position too far forward and feel more of that damage from King.
You're gonna feel, King is feeling himself. He is stepping forward. He is not afraid, even with his flash and exhaust down. He knows how strong he is, and this is that player we were waiting for all of Spring Split.
Oh, Robbie, Petrifying Gaze onto 3. Doesn't get the stun, though. Will only find the slow. Trying to pick off Shaden. Rocket Grab comes in, and just like that, Quaker turns into boots. Now King looking for Trevor. Trevor will put down the winner's bite, but Evil Geniuses are in the base. They sent Soul with the back door. 4 members left for Supernova, and only one Nexus tower remains between Evil Geniuses and the win. Sketch able to get the recall on the feathers. It does not take down King. He will not fall. Evil Geniuses through struggles. One of the wildest raps that we've seen this split. They will take the 1-1 against Supernova.
And that's gotta be such a good feeling after the weekend they've had so far, after the split they've had so far. And we finally got to see what King can do when he has the keys to succeed, because damn, that was an Ezreal performance.
That was a performance worthy of a King. That is for sure. 8-0-6 he went. Let's pull up the stats right now because you got to see just how much damage this Ezreal did beat.
To be fair, like, he got a lot of attention in that early game, and realistically, when you're ahead on the Ezreal, who's gonna get on top of you? You outranged this entire team comp. But regardless, it was still a great game from King. Really managed to push the limits of this Ezreal, get every scrap of damage he can, and was a big reason for this win in the end.
It wasn't just a lot of attention, but also capitalizing on the lack of attention from Supernova towards Sketch.
They ignored him a lot.
Yeah, they left Sketch on an island by himself, and some pirates came onto that island and plundered everything that they had down there. Poor Sketch Dreams had a rough one, but ultimately tying it up. Evil Geniuses with a stellar performance from King. We're going to throw it over to a short break. When we return, we'll have Sierra on the other side with the interview with one of our winners.
The LCS Challengers League is brought to you by Turo, the world's largest car-sharing marketplace. Find your drive.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the NACL update. Not only do we have 2 weeks of Challengers action to get you through, but we also have OQs going on alongside our Challengers League. To update you on all things OQs, we have Summer to help us out.
Hey Challengers League fans, Summer here with an update from the NACL qualifiers. We've got some super exciting teams fighting for spots in the Summer Promotion Tournament later this split. So far, there's one team that stands out as the clear frontrunner, and that team is Mirage Alliance. With Alorum, Neo, and Dardoch, this team is stacked with LCS experience. Even Chad got a game on the big stage. These guys not only have years of experience, but also some strong recent performances. Sudsy recently played on Team Tony Top, who won enough to promote in spring, and Dardoch and Alorum were parts of the Collegiate Championship winning UST roster earlier this month. Mirage Alliance is currently undefeated in their series, including a 5-0 finish in the Swiss stage and a win in their first group stage match. Challengers League teams, beware, because if you place too low and go to the promotion tournament, this team is sure to be your biggest competition.
Here at Challengers, when we talk about North America, we're sure that it's not just the US, and we never forget to include our cold friends up north in Canada. So to catch us up, here's CRM Beatdown with the Canadian update.
Ooh, thanks, Cubby. But so far up here in Canada, it's a hot one, eh?
Us simple Canadians can't handle this hot weather, but hopefully our Canadian players in the NACL have some cool place to help us out.
Oh, look at Zamudo over there, eh? Sometimes you cool down under a large tree, but what about a large rock? Zamudo throwing some shade over Disguise's way with this big engage.
Alright, that was a little cool, eh? A little relief from the heat.
Do we have anything cooler? It's still too hot.
Oh, well, they might be called Team Liquid, but it's Arrow getting dunked under the water by Onat here, and APA can't escape him either. Definitely keeping him and everyone around him cool. Way to get her done.
Wow, so cooling, so refreshing, eh? Just what I needed on a hot summer day.
Oh, wait, Beat, the shade is gone. Help me out.
Oh, well, Spyrex has got your back, keeping it cold and calculated with a minion axe so cool, it completely froze Evil Geniuses out of the game.
Thanks, Spyrex. That's cool.
Ah, that's so much better. Thanks to our Canadian players for crushing it as always. Stay cool out there.
We've had a lot of Milio in Challengers, as literally every region can relate. So, here's Kangas Mazel with a breakdown of what it's like to play against.
Ultra Mega Fire Kick. Cozy Campfire. Warm Hug. Breath of Life.
And that's been it for this summer's first episode of the NACL update. Thanks to all my friends who helped out, especially Summer from OQs. And until next week, may your week be filled with positive gaming experiences.
For this series, we're gonna forego our post-match interview. But I'm gonna take a moment to tell everyone here about one of the new sponsors that we have here over on LCS Challengers, which is brought to you by Turo, the world's largest car sharing marketplace where you can book up any car you want for just about any occasion. Forget about boring car rentals at Turo.com. Hopefully they got some really, really nice cars too, because yeah, for EGC, it was a tie, but I feel like that was a second game win that they could go out and celebrate.
I would especially like it because that draft, me and B couldn't stop talking about it. Like, what was going on? What were they cooking up? But hey, it was extra spicy. It was a little bit exotic, but man, it worked.
It did. It was a little shaky in the early game, but that bot lane focus and the fact that Supernova focused topside so heavily kind of bit them. They really took advantage of Sketch, foregoing so much of the early game to not only try and set Robbie Bot behind with how long Smoothie was mid, but also making sure that Shaden and Smoothie can continuously help Link's dive Sketch. Sketch was out of the game by like 7 minutes, and King got monstrously fed.
Insane game, but I think good for them moving on forward. As looking at the standings, definitely been a little bit of a rough ride for them. As for Supernova, the tie in the series, that'll keep them still near the 9th place spot of this. But also, considering the expectations we had for the team coming in, I still am very pleasantly surprised by the games that we see coming out from the squad.
I'm just going to say, Team Liquid, can anyone stop them? 14-2 now on these standings. And
that's crazy.
It's not even close, dude.
No, I mean, they're looking fantastic as we get to the end of the first round robin that will be ending tomorrow. And they're just looking unbelievable, unstoppable. We have other teams who have shown us maybe they can fight against them. I mean, Team Fish Taco took a game off them, so gods can bleed and all that. But TLC currently, by far, strongest team in Challenger Summer.
Yeah, I mean, we got to see the team leveling up through spring and keeping things the same for summer has been working out so well for them. But you were talking about Team Fish Taco. Well, they still have a game to play over on our LCS_Challengers broadcast. So I feel like that is going to be what everyone is going to be up to for tonight. As of course, let's go check out their broadcast. First, though, thank you everyone so much for tuning in. Dezerex, Beat for being awesome as always, as well as Production. Hope to see you in the LCS Challengers chat to be cheering on the teams in the last series of the day. And if you're not, well, hope you have a great rest of your night.